Good morning. It's Sunday, the 29th of December, 2024. Yesterday, I played in a little money game for a little bit, and we had three positions come up that were interesting. So I've turned it into a little quiz. Let's see what you did and if we got it right. I just thought they were very interesting positions. So let's see how you did. Let me share my screen. And these are all money games using Extreme Gammon. And our first position is here. Okay, let me get this junk out of the way. By the way, this is Phil Simborg from the Backgammon Learning Center. And here we are. It's a money game, and white is on roll. Cube is in the center. Should white double? White's on the bar, by the way. Should white double? And if white double, should red take or pass? If you need more time, you can pause the video. Would you double if you were white? Would you take if you were red? Okay, in the game, I was white. I did double. My opponent did take, and the result was wonderful. Uh, I actually did well this game. I hit and won a gammon. It picked up a lot of checkers, but it was correct to double, and it was correct to take by quite a bit. Both are pretty big actions. Uh, I have learned that highly volatile positions should be doubled. Sometimes they're takes, sometimes they're not. But here I also applied what I proudly call Simborg's law. I asked myself if I were red, if I were my opponent, how would I feel about getting this cube? I know that's not very scientific, but it works. I would not want to be doubled if I was red. So that's the number one reason I thought it was right to double. I'm sure there is a much better mathematical approach. For example, you hit 20 times with a two or a five, plus you also hit with a 1 6 and 1 4 and 1 1. So when you add up all those hits, that's a lot of numbers where you could easily lose your market. So I also applied O'Hagan's law of market losers, which says that even if you think your opponent's taking, and I did think this was a take, do you have more than 25% of the time where you lose your market, where on the next roll he would pass? And I think that's the lesson here. If you hit any dances, you've got a huge pass. And that's more than 25% of the time. Or if you hit two, or even if you hit and he comes in poorly, you probably have a big pass. So without doing a lot of calculation, I figured that I had enough market losers, and it is highly volatile. The swings are big. If I hit right now, the gammons say 28%. After the hit, the gammons go way up. Another way to look at these things is study it afterwards is to use dice distribution. Go to analyze dice distribution, and you can see how huge a hit is. These are all the hitting numbers. And you can also see how bad dancing numbers are if white doesn't come in. But if you add these up, that's 9 rolls that are terrible. Let's forget the 3 1 that comes in that doesn't hit. But 9 rolls that are terrible, that means out of 36, you've got 27 rolls, or at least in this case, 26 rolls that are pretty good. And you subtract 9 from 26, you get 17. That's a lot more than 25%. So that's a pretty good way to tell you have market losers. Down here, it even says you have 54% market losers. So that's the net number after you subtract your anti good roll. So this is a good way to study uh, whether if you miss a cube, why this is right to cube, or if you cube when you shouldn't. You'll see sometimes you just don't have enough market losers, or there's enough bad rolls to stop it. O'Hagan's law is really brilliant. John O'Hagan came up with it. I think he stole the idea from me, but I'll give him credit for it. Okay, let's go to the next one. Number two is checker play, white to play 3-3. I'm white. I already doubled him, and he came in after I hit him and was blitzing, and now I roll double three. Um, there are lots of plays here. I can switch. I can hit loose when this checker. I can play quietly. I can slot the bar and move one of these checkers around. I can bring this fella in and bring another checker around. I mean, lots and lots of plays. I'll shut up and let you think. And I'm happy to say that here again, I made the right play. And the right place to hit loose. You don't switch because if he comes in with a three, you're in big trouble. If you hit loose and he comes in with a one, you still have game. But you must hit. You just can't let him roll a six and get away. So that's the play. Hit loose. And obviously, when you hit loose, the other play is 18-15. And nothing else is really close here. But some people would be tempted to switch. There was some thought of that or discussion about that. Okay, that's number two. That was fairly simple, I think. Number three, this is the last one from yesterday. We had a lot other plays, of course, but these are the ones that I thought were picture worthy. Uh, both of us have a checker on the bar. Red had switched earlier off the 6 point, which I think was the right play. I should have taken a picture of that. But now white is on roll. What's the cube action? Should white double? And if white doubles, should red take or pass? Again, you have a little time to think about it, or you can pause the video if you want to not hear my answer and not see what XG has to say. By the way, if you don't have Extreme Gammon, get it. It's the best learning tool in the world. I have to be honest, I get a piece of the action on it when you click on that you heard about it from me, but I helped develop it but every good player in the world will tell you that this is better than any human and is the right way to help practice and learn your game. It's probably the second best way to really improve and learn your game. Number one is to take lessons from me or one of my 25 excellent teachers at the Backgammon Learning Center, www.backgammonlearningcenter.com. Hundreds and hundreds of people have benefited, and many of them have gone on to win major tournaments. And some of our students include some of the best players in the world, and some of our teachers include some of the best players in the world, like a guy named Mochi, for example. Okay, so if you're white, would you double this? If you're red, would you take? Well, I used Wolsey's law here. I asked myself if I've read, am I taking? And the answer is certainly would take this because it looks like if white dances, which is 16 rolls, red's got quite a game. And even if he comes in on the 20 rolls that come in, you need to know that there are 20 ways to roll a one or a six and 16 ways that dance. Dance means you don't come in. Uh, Red's got some game, and even if White does come in, Red's got this anchor. An anchor is holding a high anchor, a high point, which usually prevents gammons pretty much. But even with this many checkers, it might not. So I came to the conclusion that if I were red, I was taking. And then I asked myself, do I have enough market losers, just like the last time? And I think if I came in and hit, or if I came in and didn't hit and he danced again, I thought that would probably might be a pass for him. And I thought that was enough. And then I thought about, okay, what if I danced? How bad can he hurt me? Well, I think only a two really, really hurts me, and a two is sort of duplicated because he needs a two here. So I doubled, which is very small double. And he took and I danced and he rolled double twos and it was curtains for me. But that's anecdotal. What happened? Extreme Gammon says it's very, very small double. In fact, you probably have to roll it out. It could turn out to be after a rollout, not a double. So this gives you, when you hit plus plus, you get a pretty good evaluation. It's usually pretty accurate, not too far off. But if you really you have something that's close and you want to know, you hit the rollout button and it plays the game out 1,296 times. And you will get a much better number for whether it's a take or pass or what the play is. Um, and I learned a long time ago from some experts, anytime you're wrong, when you hit plus or plus plus, roll it up because maybe you'll turn out to be right. It'll help your ego. So although I did double, it was close. Uh, I'm not going to wait for the whole rollout, but I can click on it and see how it's doing so far. And so far it says it is a double and it got even stronger. Yes, now it's be a 4% error if you didn't double. So that's making me look better. That I was more correct to double, but it's still not a huge thing either way. But as the rollout goes, it's played the game out 170 times so far, and it's about a 3.5% error not to double. So this justifies it. I can hit interrupt and close. And okay, so we can see that what a great tool Extreme Gammon is. When I learned this game many years ago, we didn't have these kinds of tools. We just had to guess, or we had to play these out by hand, which is very inefficient, hundreds of times to find out if it was a double or a take. And even experts would be wildly apart. So now we have this definitive way of knowing, which a lot of people think they've ruined the game now that it's definitive. There's a lot less debates. It was a lot more fun, I think, in the old days, but it's been much more interesting and intellectual now. I hope you enjoyed this. Click like on the video. Go to my video channel and subscribe. And whenever I do one of these, you'll get a notification. And I highly recommend that you join the USBGF. I have over 250 videos free with guest lecturers like John O'Hagan and other experts with me. And you'll get a lot of free lessons and information on a lot of different kinds of situations and problems. And I'm very shortly on my way to New York City to the US's largest backgammon tournament. Based on the entries that they have so far, it's going to be even bigger this year. So I'll see you all in New York on January 9th, and we'll continue to have a great year of backgammon. The game is growing, it's doing well. The federations all over the world are doing a great job in promoting. Yes, they can do more, but they got a lot of volunteers without a lot of money and not being paid for their job, working very hard. My hat's off to them and the tournament directors. So Happy New Year, everybody, and hope you enjoyed this video. Bye-bye. I said goodbye. Now I have to do something to get out of here. Okay. End the video.